Hi, welcome back to Trebons. So we were Kumara's litter, pretty calm at the moment. They've just been fed, which is nice, and just sit down with the puppies. We are now, oh, how old are we now? 4.5 weeks of age. We have, over the last 4.5 weeks, we've gone from babies, babies which goes from basically the first 3 weeks, then they become puppies. And we're about to transition into little dogs. We still call them puppies, but in reality they are little dogs. They're autonomous now. Dush. They still have that pet mentality, but not quite like it was before. They're more individuals. You can really see the individuality in those puppies. And that's what we've been measuring in the last week and a half since that golden age period, where you see the puppy for what it is. And you know there's different character traits in the dogs. The main thing is what we're doing with the whole litter is trying to keep it balanced. So at the moment I would say I have a grey male and a orange female and pink female that seem to be leading the way. There's the grey, I think. No, he's the grey. There's the grey. And they seem to be leading the way. A lot of it do is just based on contact. They want to be part and parcel. They're first. But what we, as I said before, what we've been doing is trying to really control the excitement level on the puppies. That's what it's all about. Because we have a very competitive litter and that produces positive excitement, unless we start pushing down on that, and then you're going to get a fearful litter. But we need to control that excitement level. And I think they've got it under control. I think by and large, and there's been a lot of just handling and easy, take it easy. But they have to relax. They're pretty tired now, so. But they have to relax once they're picked up. They have to learn to do this. There's a time and a place, and when we say no, no means no. That's the end of it. And today, just a bit of an exercise, liquid water, a bit of a shock to the system, and you know, it's just oof. Again, it doesn't do any harm. A little bit of a wash. Yes, it is. It's a little bit of a wash. It's all part and parcel of the handling. It is. Yes, and it's about acceptance towards things and everything else. Nails are going very well. They're very easy in the hand now. And that's what I want. I've got a very uniform litter. As I say, I've got the male here. There's the purple male as well. He's a little bit lively. And the orange female and the pink female, they're a little bit lively. But when it comes to being forward, when it comes to doing the tests, definitely the grey male here, he has been leading the way along with his sister, the orange female, who is definitely a little bit feisty, if I can find her, and she's normally around here somewhere. Where is she? Where is she there? There she is. Oh, do I have to come and get you? So you can start to notice the difference. He says, I have to check to make sure she is the orange one. And yep, it's the orange female. You start to notice the difference in the puppies now. Different features, etc. She's got very sharp features, haven't you done? Okay, so good day to you. Time for a wash. So, as I say, it's the grey male and the orange female there. I wouldn't say, yeah, they've been standing out in all the tests so far, so I expect them to do very well in their puppy tests. I don't really need to do too much with these two. She is a little bit feisty, so a bit more handling, that's the only thing. She's very calm today, which is nice. Oh, we're tired, aren't we, darling? And there's half of it, we just keep them tired, eh? Oh, yeah. Good girl, good girl. Oh, it's not too tired. So, and that's the exercises we're doing. Now, often we hear the term nurture versus nature. And that's a terrible term, nurture versus, like one is better than the other. It's not. It's a combination of the two. It really is. It's not nature versus nurture. It's a combination, it's an understanding of the nature for the nurture, for what we do. Now, right at the beginning, we know the disposition of our dogs, our adults. We have genetics. And when we talk about nature, we're talking about, for example, hunting, reproduction, just eating. That's nature. And nurture tends to be a learned response, but it's more than that because it's also can be an imprinted response and a conditioned response. Conditioned is learning, I suppose, but the imprinting reinforces the nature. And we try to, what's the word, imprint in a way that is beneficial. Now we've got an excitable litter. This could have just as easily been the other way around, and with the wrong handling. And it's because we've got the right handling, we have a reasonably calm litter now. An easy litter in the hand. We're, I would say, just about up to the level of Abba's litters. When it comes to handling, when it comes to response to things, they are a little bit more excitable than Abba's litters. They're a lot easier to handle, but these guys are, they take to the hand. They're very, very easy now, very soft, very gentle, no real struggles. Apart from with the orange occasionally, she gets a bit excitable, we're still working on that one. And that's what these exercises are all about, what we're doing. The other exercises we've done, sound, etc., they've flown through. And I thought I'd talk about something a little bit more meaningful than a demonstration. Because this is more meaningful than a demonstration that they can take a blower or something. But we have a calmness, which I'm very, very happy with the way this litter is developing. As I say, we started off with an extremely excitable. We have the potential of having a really overexcited litter because we increased that competition. And this is experience that has allowed us to get to this stage. We now have a very manipulable litter. And a very, very easy litter to handle. And these are exercises that you should do when you take the puppy home. It's not too big for this when you take it home at 8 weeks. And I'm fairly solid, well not soft, not like this, fairly solid with the hand. It feels me, it knows I'm here, it's accepting being handled, and I think it's quite enjoying it. The nail cutting and everything else is just as easy. There's no real problem now, and as I say, we're exactly, well, we're a lot further ahead than I thought we would be at this time, because I really was quite worried about the excitement level in this litter. Having 11 puppies, knowing the disposition of Abba, of Kumara and the male Ulysses, and previous litters, so we've really, really worked on, and that is experience that comes in here. We know what we're doing. We're using nature and we're using the nurture to get the best results. The imprinting is the best result possible on that genetics that's going on. And we're now at the stage where it's about conditioning. That's what we're doing. Now, when it comes to the genetics, you can't break those genetics. The imprinting is reinforcement of those genetics, either to the right or to the left. That's what imprinting does. Yeah, that's the best way to explain. And you can't break it. You break that imprinting, you break that genetic, you break your dog. The conditioning, what we're doing now, that's what this is, conditioning, acceptance to things. It's not training, it's a learning experience for the puppy, and it's an acceptance. This can be broken. Why you would want to break it, there's no reason, you're being stupid. You can gear your dog up in a different way, if that's what you want. But I would suggest what we've imprinted, what we've conditioned, you stick with. It's going to be good, it's going to be solid. But this is then reinforced with training afterwards when they're a little bit older. So you've got a dog that's been imprinted in the right way, you've got the genetics and the imprinting that are to go in the right way. We've got a very uniform litter. When it comes to the puppy test, there's not going to be much difference in the results of the individual puppies. As I say, I've got 2 puppies that are a little bit further ahead. I'm not really going to need to do much more work with them, it's just a case of repetition. There's no one that really needs to be brought on. I have, as I say, the orange female can be a little bit excited at times. What's going on? Am I sitting on someone? What's up? Can be a little bit excited, along with the pink female, if I can find her. Oh yeah, this time. So as I say, yeah, really starting to be able to identify the puppies now, and that's a good thing. So you don't really miss anything once you can start identifying the individual puppy. Life becomes so much easier because you can spot it. You can spot the problems rather than, oh, which puppy is it? Yeah, we've done it well. Yes. Now she can be a little bit feisty at times as well. And we'll be working on that a little bit more. Oh, there we go. See? Yeah. You have to calm down now. So when we say no, we mean no, don't we? And we just calm down. Yo. Easy. No, easy. So we get used to things. Boom. And that's what we're working on. So that we don't have this difficulty. So she's still going. And we can say this is a game and everything else. Oh, that's not a tit. That's certainly not. No. Still feeding the dogs on the bottom. No, not on the bottle anymore. Just milk straight into a bowl. They're drinking that. Kumara is still feeding, and they're also on solids. So that's all going well. The solids are increasing. So there we go, darling. There we go. As I say, so a little bit more feisty. And a little bit more handy, but she's getting there. In fact, I'm very happy with all the litter. So when it comes to nature versus nurture, no such thing. It's a combination of the both of them, and it's an understanding of both that gets the best results. The genetics, yes, they play an important part. Of course they do, and it's understanding those genetics, and it's a dog, which takes a great chunk of those genetics. You've got the breed itself, that's a very, very small part, and the parents, which is a very, very small part of those genetics. But they play an important part. They what define the Berger Blanc, not only in morphology, but in temperament. And it's understanding that and working with that and knowing what you're working with and being able to spot it. That's why it's good that you know that you can identify your dogs pretty damn quick when you're working with them. If there's a problem, oof. And the only reason to put collars on is actually for you, so you can see the difference in the dogs. It's only something I've only started recently doing, because I sort of know which dog is which most of the time. Not all the time, but most of the time. Yeah, the last one. We're going to carry on with this. It's getting a bit repetitive now, isn't it? It is. Hello, little one. Hello, my little girlie. Hello. Ooh, lovely girlie. So as I say, it's all going very well. You've got these. So when it comes to imprinting, that is done in your first 3 weeks. You can still imprint, but generally after that, generally it's normally something pretty major. You might have heard about fear phase, where, and that generally happens around about 8 weeks, and not strangely, it happens when the puppy leaves home, because it's a huge shock to the system, and they can get imprinted with fear there. Certain things, maybe it's the travel in the car, the way it's being picked up, something like that. That's what we avoid by doing this work, that fear phase. And that's why we do these videos, to show you that you can understand what's happening. And the idea is you handle your dog the same way. You're not going to handle it exactly the same way I did, of course you're not. But there's a familiarity about it. Dogs love routine. There's a lovely bit of familiarity about what we're doing. And this gives you the best result at the end of the day. The way we handle the dogs, etc, etc. Toilet training, well, I'll show you in a minute. We're pretty clean. The toilet has been definitely made bigger. Still pee on the floor, but everything else is done in the bucket. It's like they just don't have enough time to get there sometimes, but that will get better as the puppies get older. Kumi, come on. Coops, Kumara. And Kumara has enjoyed her respite. Here's Kumi. Yes. You see, it's not like the puppies have to be with Kumi all the time or anything like that. I have just as much connection, in some ways more than with the mother has. They just want you for one thing, they want me for everything. Yes, we have the fun with me. But she's the master, she tells you off, not me. So, that's our litter. at 4.5 weeks of age. Nice calm. It's nice when they're like this, and as you see, a whole toilet area there against the back wall there. And you need it when you've got this many puppies, and it keeps the place clean, it's easier to handle, and therefore we have the better environment. And this is going nature versus nurture. The environment plays a huge part, and if you've got an area that is relatively clean, easy to clean, it makes for a lot more fun with the puppies, etc, etc. And of course, you know, we're looking after the health of the dogs as well. Underneath all this is cork, it's a really soft floor for the dogs, protect the joints and everything else. So anyway, that's the litter for now.